When we think of automotive status symbols, fancy vehicles, north of 6 figures, you're probably thinking like BMW, Mercedes. That might impress people at the country club, the yacht club, or at the company party. But when it comes to the job site, the oil fields, the boat ramp, or in the woods elk hunting, that might not impress other people. Those BMWs and Mercedes might not be very impressive for a different type of folk, but a vehicle like this might be. Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford Isuzu, and today we're going to talk about this 2026 Ford F-350 Platinum with a Tremor off-road package. It might be a pickup truck. This is also an automotive status symbol. If we take a look over here at the window sticker, $103,475. Kind of hard to see in camera. This is pretty much as decked out as you're going to get for an F-350. It's got all the goodies, the Power Stroke diesel, the Tremor off-road package, and there are F-350s for everybody. Like these in particular, I like these. These kind of remind me of the trucks of 30, 40 years ago where they're a lot simpler. You know, this is a nice diesel pickup four-wheel drive with these nice knobby off-road tires. $65,000, not cheap, but a lot cheaper than this one. So obviously, Ford makes pickup trucks at all different price points for all different purposes. But this, in the automotive business, is what we call a cowboy Cadillac, or I guess since it's a Ford product, we should call it a cowboy Lincoln. On the outside, it's tough and rugged looking, but on the inside, it will pamper you like a luxury car. This thing has creature comforts on par with what you find on a luxury automobile showroom. And that includes your rear seat passengers, your friends, your family, your co-workers. They'll be lapping it up in luxury back here, heated seats, nice perforated leather. This is a platinum trim level, one of the top trim levels on the F-Series. Got a little extra storage under here, and this is also collapsible. You can get this with an 8-foot bed or a 6.75-foot bed. The smaller bed is going to make it a little bit more practical for everyday driving. With the 8-foot bed, obviously for serious pickup truck use, necessity for some who are in the trades and things like that. But if you can get away with a shorter bed, it's just going to make it so much easier to park and maneuver at, at regular parking spaces. With the 8-foot bed and 4 doors, it's almost like a limousine how big it is. This one features the Tremor off-road package. And while we have this street legal stadium truck brought to you by Ford in the form of a Raptor package on the F-150, this thing's designed more for high-speed desert running, taking small jumps with its wide track and long travel suspension, where the Tremor off-road package is more designed for slower off-roading, like going through the woods, some rock crawling, things like that, more slow-paced off-roading. The Tremor series, regardless if it's the F-150 or the F-350, it's more along the lines for slower, more technical off-roading, not high-speed stuff like you do in the Raptor. And the other thing about the Raptor is a cushy off-road suspension designed for taking jumps and high-speed desert racing also limits the amount of tongue weight you can put on the trailer. That cushy suspension tends to squat down a lot when you have a heavy trailer on there, so Ford actually has to limit the Raptor's tow rating to 8,000 pounds versus over 13,000 pounds when properly equipped with the regular F-150. Not the case with the Raptor, be it the F-150 or the F-350, you're not going to have to sacrifice any towing ability when you get the Tremor package. We have a power tailgate. You hit the button, it will power go down, power go up, and it's pretty high up off the ground. I'm 6'2". I'd have to crawl back here like a spider. Not the easiest thing to do, but Ford's got your back. If you hit this button right here, out pops a step and a little handle to make it an absolute cinch getting in and out of the bed. Easy peasy. And you can see this one's prepped for a fifth wheel or a gooseneck, or maybe both. Got the plugs right there, integrated LED bed lighting. Ford, they are pickup truck experts. The F-Series has been the best-selling pickup truck in the United States for 48 years, so they have a lot of expertise, a lot of focus groups. They know what their customers want in their pickup trucks. So hit that little button again, and then we have that bed power fold up. And some other changes for 2026 in the Super Duty Tremor is the power plant department. So for 2025, you could get 2 engines. You could get the standard 7.3 liter Godzilla V8, fantastic naturally aspirated gas engine, or you could upgrade to the fan favorite, the 6.7 liter Power Stroke. Previously, you could only get the high output version of the Power Stroke. That's 500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque, an absolute bonkers, an insane amount of power for a truck. For some, that might be a little bit overkill. You don't need all that power. You don't need to pay a premium to have that high output version of the Power Stroke. And you can tell if it's a high output version because on the lettering on here, the high output versions will be in red The regular output, like this one, will be in black. And that's a change. Now for 2026, you can get the regular output version of the Power Stroke, which is a paltry 475 horsepower and only 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. That's crazy too. And honestly, for some, that 7.3 liter Godzilla might be a better choice. When going off-roading, obviously weight can be a consideration. So if you don't need a tow of 15,000 pounds, getting the Godzilla, which is not as much, I think you're paying a 10,000 premium for the Power Stroke. You know, the Power Stroke probably weighs about 800 to 1,000 pounds more than the 7.3 liter gas engine. So that extra weight on the front is going to limit your off-road ability. So if you do value off-road ability, when you're looking at a Tremor, you kind of have to weigh, you know, do I want something lighter, 1,000 pounds lighter for going off-road, or do I need that extra power for towing? I guess it's all up to each individual. And sitting here in the command center, this is where all the action takes place. This is what it's all about. You have a nice high-up view. You have a commanding view of the road, big windows, panoramic view of everything around you, huge glass roof panels. This opens. You have a power sunshade to dim things down. Unfortunately, it's not too bright now, so we'll leave that open. Very comfortable, perforated leather seats, trimmed in beautiful, nice contrast stitching and colors. You got the platinum insignia right there. This wouldn't be out of place at all inside like a Lincoln Navigator. We have a wireless charging pad. We have storage galore, a huge cavernous storage compartment right there. We have a lower glove compartment. We have an upper glove compartment. We have upfitter switches if you decide you want to add winches, extra driving lights, things like that. Heated and ventilated front seats. This one features the Sync 4 infotainment system, one of the best in the business. We have a rear parking camera, overhead camera. We have a great sounding B&O audio system, graphical heads-up display, integrated exhaust brake. We have a Pro Trailer Backup Assist, integrated trailer brake controller. Here we have the controller to operate the four-wheel drive system, so you have two-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive high, low range, and then you can lock the rear differential. And you can twist this rotary dial here to access different drive modes. And we have a completely digital gauge cluster, so we'll notice that the gauge cluster might change the way it looks depending on the drive mode, and it might pop it in or pop it out of four-wheel drive, might lock the rear differential, might shut off the traction control depending on what drive mode we have selected. So we have Eco, we have tow haul, we have normal, we have slippery. You can see it's putting it in four-wheel drive for slippery mode. We have off-road. We can see that it's going to lock the rear differential and shut off the traction control system, which is preferable for off-road situations. And we have an off-road display in the gauge cluster. And then we have rock crawl. This baby can rock crawl, and it's going to want to put it in low range, which we're not going to do right now. If you want one of the ultimate status symbols as far as pickup trucks go, doesn't get too much better than this F-350 Platinum with the Tremor package. This thing's a bad mamma jamma that's capable, comfortable, and beautiful. We're Way Scarff Ford Isuzu. We've been in business 103 years, probably serving the greater Seattle Tacoma area since 1922, located in Auburn, Washington. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.